Hey art friends! My name is Elise and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a special challenge. Shout out to Addison for inspiring me to do this challenge. So ChatGPT is going to write me a crochet pattern and then I'm going to test it and see if it's good enough to sell at a market. So in the past, I've seen other crocheters like Crochet by Jenna or Hooks and Healers and many more do this same challenge, and I wanted to try it out myself. So first, I want to make a cute amigurumi plushie, and I hope it's an animal, but I'm not sure since ChatGPT is making my pattern. Then obviously I want to make it with Premier Parfait Chunky, my favorite yarn. And then I also want to make sure we can use 25mm glitter safety eyes with this. And finally, I hope it's no-sew or low-sew. So ChatGPT says this pattern is going to be a low-sew plush bear. And it also recommends using a 4.5mm hook, which is perfect because I usually use a 4mm to a 5mm hook for Parfait Chunky. So this won't be too far off. And for the main color, which is only one skein, so it will be a medium-sized plushie, is lavender from Parfait Chunky. So I'm guessing this is going to be a teddy bear because it's going to be purple. And for the accent color, I'm going to be using iris, and I'm also going to be using some white. Let's get started. So we're starting off with a magic ring of 6 single crochets. The first 3 rounds are already looking really good. So I just realized that the pattern was written very differently than I'm used to, and I don't think any patterns are written like this in real life. But it starts out with you making the head, and then it just stops and has you make the ears, which wouldn't be able to work because you're still connected to the yarn, and you wouldn't be able to do this unless you had multiple skeins of yarn open at the same time of the same color. It starts off with the head and then goes straight to the ears and then goes to the shaping of the head where you basically just decrease, and then it goes straight into the body, which is going to be the same part. So I'm going to frog this section, and I'm going to start off making the ears and then all the limbs and then the tail and all of that, and then I'm going to start making the head and the body. So the ears are actually supposed to be an iris. So the ripping of the skein 2.0. Rereading through the pattern again, the ears do not have a specific place that they go in because the ears should go in around rounds 3 or 4 in the head, but instead it puts it at round 11, which is going to be by the neck. But it also has these instructions. So it says something about using ear tails, and I'm not exactly sure how that works. So I'm just going to sew the ears in because I'm not exactly sure how ChatGPT wants me to make this pattern. But to have the ears in a relatively close place to where the ears are actually supposed to be, I'm going to have to sew them on. So first I've made the 2 ears in iris, and this is what they look like, and I think I'm just going to stuff them and sew around them onto the head. So here are the 2 arms, and I'm not sure how I feel about these because they do seem kind of unproportionate with the rest of the body, but we'll see how that works out in the end. So we also have the legs, and they do seem kind of weirdly shaped because they look like half circles instead of longer, like regular legs in a regular crochet pattern. The eyes I'm going to be using for this plushie are these 25mm glitter safety eyes. And these are also very similar to the other eyes that I have in that they also have this circle of glitter and color on the back that you can put in any eye. So I started to make the head, and I would not go to ChatGPT to write your crochet patterns because it stacked my increases already, and it also looks pretty big compared to the rest of the body parts. If I was writing this pattern, I would have taken away this last round of increases that we did, and I would have just single crocheted down from there. So it's the next day, and I've been working on this head, but I'm super confused on how this pattern is going to wrap up because if this is going to be a bear, you need a head and a body, and this says that this part up here is the head, and then I just started the round where it called it the body, but we haven't even decreased at all. So it might just be like a blob and it has all the features kind of like a squishmallow or some other stuffed animal like that. I'm super confused how this is going to turn out well, but we'll see how it works out in the end. After doing a couple more rounds, I feel like it's just a little bit too pointy. Hopefully after I stuff the body and the head, it will be less pointy, but I am not sure how I'm liking this pattern. So definitely don't let ChatGPT write your crochet patterns. You should write them yourself. Also, I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I'm using a 4.5mm hook. So here's the finished head and body according to the pattern, and I really think it could just be the head. So now I'm going to attach the arms first, and I'm going to go off what ChatGPT says to do, not what I want to do, so we can really see how this challenge develops. I totally forgot to make the snout, so I'm going to do that now out of white. I just finished the snout, and I also embroidered the nose and mouth onto it, and I really like how this turned out. I just added these eyes into our bear, and I think it looks so cute. So I just finished showing all of the body parts on, and I looked back at ChatGPT's instructions on where to sew on the parts. So this is the finished product, and he looks very wonky. He has his arms slightly off center, and his eyes were not in the right spot. But overall, he's pretty cute. But definitely don't go to ChatGPT to write your crochet patterns because this is what you're going to end up with. So I just asked ChatGPT to make me a picture of what it thinks that this crochet pattern would look like if it made it, and it is totally wrong. It looks super cute in the picture, but in real life, we have this. So I'm going to put the picture up, and first of all, this only has its head portion, and it didn't even include a pattern for the body. On this pattern, the body parts were not in the correct positions as they are in this photo, so definitely don't recommend going to ChatGPT to write your crochet patterns. Also, on the picture here, it doesn't have the right arms or legs because in this pattern, it looks like the legs are just half circles and the arms are not as large as they are in this picture. Plus, on the ears, it doesn't even have the white part that it does in this picture. Overall though, this was a really fun challenge. If you like videos like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time. Bye!